Class, what's up? It's the end of the semester. Congratulations on making it almost all the way through. Wishing you the best on all of your exams and in your final papers. And hope you have an opportunity to get some Christmas shopping done and make some big plans to spend time with family and friends over the holiday. I just wanted to hit you up with one more weekly video for a few reasons. First of all, I want to remind you that I would greatly appreciate it if you would fill out a course evaluation. You know, sometimes I say this at the end of the semester and sometimes I don't, but this semester I will. You know, I think it's been a good class. I've really tried to make an online class as interactive as I possibly can through video conferences, through calls. A lot of us text, and so I've gotten to interact with more students on an online class than I probably ever have before. And I hope that the content has been stimulating. You know, again, this is an introductory class, and so, you know, the goal here isn't any deep dives until you get to the resolution section of your paper, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But it's really to get an understanding of what sports social work is. You know, and I'm hopeful, you know, that some of you will see this as a potential career path, whether you are a social work student, whether you're a student in another major, or a student athlete. You know, the opportunities for sports social workers continue to grow every day. So please fill out that course evaluation. Secondly, I am going to offer one more extra credit opportunity, and you can use these points in any way. I'll probably allot the points to where you need them the most. But basically, the extra credit assignment is going to be for you to do a search of one of the Power 5 conference schools. You are to go to their website to look for their behavioral health specialist, whether it's a social worker, whether it's a psychologist, clinical psychologist, and note their gender and their race. So I'll be sending out sort of a mini spreadsheet. I'll be sending that out today. The extra credit assignment will be due by Monday. I'm giving Monday, except here's the caveat. I'm going to put up a discussion board, and if you decide you want to do one school or you want to do 10 schools, all you need to do is put it on the discussion board, and the person, you know, once a person puts that school on the discussion board, it's theirs. So, you know, there'll only be 60 opportunities or so, 60 or so Power 5 conference schools. So again, you can only do, you know, the schools that you are the first to select. So I'm going to open up the discussion board. I'm going to send out, you know, the little Excel spreadsheet that you put the information in, and we can go from there. Let's talk about this issue brief. Really excited around the number of drafts that I received. And I learned a lot. You know, first of all, one of the things that's going to be imperative is that you use your subject headings. A lot of folks didn't use their subject headings, and it's important in terms of guiding me through your conversation. Secondly, if you do not have your name in the file, okay, I will not read your paper. All right, so make sure your name is in the file. It just helps me with organization. As far as the introduction, I want to remind you the introduction is not a commentary. It's part commentary, but it's part historical account. So if you have an introduction with no cites, that's not good. Somebody has had the thoughts that you've had before. And there are a lot of general statements in people's introductions that don't have any citations. So what I do, I would go and I would sort of Google that notion, that idea that you have. You're probably going to find a popular media or a video who with a person who said it, and you should cite them. But in your intro, I should be seeing at least 2 to 3 in-text cites easily. 2 to 3 in-text cites easily. Now, people might have misconstrued what I said in terms of the media accounts being a section. It's not a section. What I was saying is that you can use media accounts in your introduction, because media accounts are often provocative, and it really grabs people's attention. So I really want you to use the media accounts for your introduction it is not a separate section. Lastly, I need a clear statement of what the issue is. If you want to put it in bold, you can put it in bold. But I don't want people to say, well, mental health. I need you to focus on a disorder. I don't need you to say, sexuality. I need you to specify what you're speaking about. Those are some of the examples that I can think of offhand. If you have a paper where you are proposing that you're going to implement a program and address all the mental health disorders, that's not going to be a good thing. Again, focus on a mental health disorder. If you're doing something maybe with career transition with athletes, focus on a particular area, whether it's career, whether it's finance, whether it's relationships. This is a issue brief, not plural, not issues. It's an issue brief. And the more specific you are, the more impressed I'm going to be, because I know you're going to do some deep thinking in that area. A literature review. I want to emphasize this again, that your literature review should be made up of peer-reviewed articles. That means that they probably come from a journal. They involve some research, and you are supposed to put the title, the sample, the methods, the purpose, that goes up here, and the findings. Now I'm gonna do something here that's very important. So if you got your intro here, right, and you talked about X, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 need to be reflected in your literature review. Now, it doesn't have to be exact. If you are talking about eating disorders here, some of your literature review talks specifically, one study talks about anorexia and the other talks about bulimia, that's fine. Or if you are talking about, pay for play in college athletics, and you are talking, about some of the issues around pay for play and compensation and social justice, but you come down here, you can't find any research articles on pay for play, but you can find some research articles, say, on graduate students lobbying for greater stipends, then that makes sense. But I just want to introduce this idea of vertical consistency. Consistency from your intro to your literature review and to your resolutions. All right? But the key is peer-reviewed articles. And you can ask any librarian whether the articles that you have are peer-reviewed, but they usually come from a journal, and they involve some research and or they are a commentary. All right, let's wrap this up and get to the most important part, the resolutions. A lot of people's resolution sections, too broad, okay? Now let's say, for example, someone wanted to work on stigma reduction of mental health issues, specifically depression in college athletics. This is what I would see. I would see, let's do some surveys, and let's do some meetings, and let's do some trainings, and let's do an awareness campaign. Now, if you did something like that, on that particular section, you're not going to do very well. I'm going to let you know now, because I don't want all of that. What I would rather see is you pick out something like training and give me maybe a 10-step plan just on training. I can't be, now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be real about this. This is the part of where, we got to really work on deep thinking. This paper is a little bit broad because I don't want, we're going to do surveys, and then we're going to do meetings, and then we're going to do this. Okay. I want you to tell me about a particular aspect of it. And if I were to, I don't know which side I should be on. Let's see, this side? No, this side. Okay. If I were to talk about this training aspect, I want to know who, how, when, what, where. Okay? I want names or titles, and I want lots of them. That's what I'm looking for. You could use UT as an example. Now, for folks who are going to, doing something on college athletics, and you propose to do the extra credit as well, then you're looking at that staff directory for a particular school. So you can plug in names. You can talk about, if you're going to do a training, what specific areas are you going to train on? Who are you going to train? If you're talking about training some coaches, how are you going to get those coaches in the room? If you're talking about student athletes, how are you going to get their time? So it's not only that, but you have to recognize some inherent barriers and facilitators and talk about those. But I don't want this. I don't. I want one thing. I want one small, feasible thing that's realistic with facilitators, barriers, or more important, who, how, when, where. This is your rubric, ladies and gentlemen. This is your rubric, and it's consistent with the instructions. All right, I'm going to close out because I know you got stuff to do, and so do I. I'm going to send out the extra credit. Let me go back to this. Out of the drafts that I received, I probably received a B, probably received a couple of C's, and the rest of the papers might not make the cut. So, I really need for you to work on this paper. I am so invested in you working on this paper, and I so want you to do well, that I am going to extend the deadline for the paper from the 9th to the end of the week. So the 10th, 11th, 12th, I think it's the 13th, but it'll be extended till next Friday, because this is what I want. And I don't want anybody walking out and, with 30 points and only getting 10, because, you have to maintain, your grade in this class. You got to do pretty well on this paper. It's a significant piece, and I want you to do well. So check out the instructions, check out this video, do the extra credit, but most of all, don't let the pressure at the end of the semester get to you. Continue to do the great things that you're doing. I'm really looking forward to the papers. I want to thank you again for your time this semester, your diligence and work with me. I really have enjoyed speaking with a lot of you, interacting with a lot of you, trying to continue to help people see this big picture of what sports social work is all about. And if I could be of assistance in any way, let me know. But until then, happy holidays and have a very Merry Christmas and an incredible New Year.